Your expectations were too high. That is the rhetoric and the statement that I hear from a bunch of Cyberpunk fans about the release of this game. Dude, what were you expecting, man? I mean, the hype for this game was so crazy, it was too high. Of course the game was going to underdeliver. Listen, I don't like saying this type of stuff, but if you said that and are thinking that,
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Then get your head out of the sand. Seriously, man. Because it's not about expectations being too high, okay? I mean, look, I don't need, and I'm sure we don't need, every single NPC to have their very own daily routine and they react to you dynamically in a different way, or the police is the most in-depth ever, or this is going to be the best RPG ever, which is stuff that they said, by the way, but we're not really expecting that. When I say this game needs to be improved, I'm talking about a police system that's better than GTA San Andreas. I'm talking about NPCs that are better than GTA 3, car customization, character customization, and a world that isn't deader than a doorknob. Like, if your playground for an open world game is Night City, there's no excuse for there not to be any side activities, random encounters, and I'm not talking about those scripted ones that show up at the same time every time to make you think that they're random, even though they're not. But I just find it absolutely wild that the same developers who came up with Gwent have a game that just came out with a world that's arguably supposed to be way more alive and bustling than The Witcher 3's world, and there's nothing outside of side quests and main quests. And yes, I do consider the NCPD crimes, the tarot cards, that type of thing to be side quests because they do function like side quests. Like, the point of an open world game is to be able to divert from the missions and just go explore and find and do a bunch of really cool stuff that is completely independent from any main story missions or side missions. In Cyberpunk, if you go do that, you're going to realize real quick just how much the world is a cardboard cutout. Pretty to look at, but no substance. But you guys have heard me say this stuff, okay? But what I'm wondering is, will the next updates, especially the big ones, I'm looking at you, patch 1.1 supposed to be coming this week, and the 1.2 in February, are they going to have more than just bug fixes? Or is it just going to be, oh, look, this glitch is fixed, this bug is fixed, love us now, the game is fixed, it's great, right? No. Because what's worrying to me is, if you watch that apology video from Marcin Iwinski a few days ago, it really seemed like their quote-unquote commitment to quality was just based around, okay, we're going to fix all the bugs and the glitches, and then you'll love us again. They mentioned explicitly that their top priority is to improve players' experience with the game in terms of fixing crashes and bugs, but no mention of a No Man's Sky type comeback, which is what the rumblings have been, or any improvements to the core features of the game. Like that leak a few weeks ago, I know it was fake, but the leak mentioned that they were going to completely overhaul the police system, go back to what they had before, and a lot of core mechanics and features would be either reintroduced or added, and honestly, I see nothing that alludes to that in these statements here. And look, I understand the argument that before anything else, you need to fix the bugs and the glitches and the crashes. I understand that that's the top priority, okay? Of course it is, because that's the core experience of the game. As though they're kind of sweeping the other stuff under the rug a little bit. And not many people are talking about this now. Everybody's talking about, oh, the buggy, messy release. But once the game starts running really well, if they don't add anything in the way of updates or DLC, which I'll touch on in a minute, people are going to start realizing, wow, okay, the problems with this game run far deeper than just the bugs. And I'm not saying crunch your employees and, look, I know he said in the video Marcin did that, oh, we're not going to crunch the employees, but they've said that in the past and they've lied. So I want them to make sure that everything that I'm about to mention is done in a happy, healthy work environment. That's my caveat here. But I think the NPC system needs a complete overhaul. And that is a tough job. But if they really are committed to quality, like they said, then, dude, you can't have an NPC system that's circa 2004. And look, I'm not saying that this game needs to be on the level of Red Dead Redemption 2 in terms of the technology and the game design, but have you seen the videos comparing Red Dead 2 and Cyberpunk? Like, it is comically embarrassing how much it blows it out of the water. I don't need it to be on the same level as Red Dead, I just need it to not be an embarrassment when put up face to face with it. Same thing with GTA 5, which was a 2013 release. And I understand the reports that just came out via Bloomberg and Jason Schreier here that development really only started in 2016 and then they went through like almost a complete overhaul in 2018. So really the game was thrown together in 2 years, man. So that's why my personal prediction, I hope that I'm wrong. I really hope that I'm wrong, but I think the updates are just going to be bug fixes. That includes hot fixes and the big patches here. I think they're just going to be bug, crash, glitch fixes. And again, I hope I'm so wrong, but if we're going to see these new features implemented anywhere, it's going to be through DLC. Like, we know about all those locations, right? Where it says, oh, we got nothing for you here just yet. So let's just say that they open up a whole new part of the map that we're not able to go to, like that new Badlands spot, or the space station. How dope would that be? The orbital air place. Then you can be like, oh, hey, look, there's a body shop here where you can customize your vehicles. Oh, look, a barber shop. You can go cut your hair, bro. And a new Ripper Doc who can also change the color of your cybernetics. That's where I think it would be if they're going to do it. It's going to be through DLC that opens up a bunch of new opportunities. Now, where does that leave the stuff I said about the NPCs and the police system? That, I mean, if you're asking me, I think that really has to come through one of these big patches. Maybe not in February or January here, because that's such a big thing to do. But again, if you ask me, I think if they really don't want to be BS here and they are really committed to the quality of Cyberpunk, and honestly, they're trying to save their franchise here. They're trying to make, of course, the multiplayer, they wanted this thing to be like GTA Online, okay? They wanted to have a huge Cyberpunk franchise with sequel setup and all this stuff. I think they need to have a patch completely dedicated to the NPC system. And yes, I know, in game development, if you fix one thing, you might break 5 others. I get that, and that's why they're being careful, which I respect. But you cannot sweep it under the rug and forget about it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me on this one. Give me your take. Do you think these new updates will feature some core mechanic improvements that are necessary? Again, not super high expectations, but core stuff that an open world game in 2021 needs to have. That's going to be it for me on this one, guys. Like if it's your first time here, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.